Hi everyone, happy Trans Day of Visibility. So I'm just gonna shout out like 5 people that have impacted me in some way, whether it was to help me make my channel or just inspired me to be my most authentic self and basically be willing to be visible for those who can't be. So the first person that I can really be inspired by, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way, is Skylar Kurjan, also known by his channel as Skylar11. And when I first started out in transitioning, I say this person first because they were the first channel I came across, and I know a lot of people said this. They helped them discover who they were. And while I don't directly identify as 100% as a trans man anymore like I used to, they still influenced me in some way, and whether or not you identify as a trans woman, trans guy, or non-binary, some other identity that I may not be aware of, this person had basically set the foundation of who I am today and being my most authentic self, and basically showing myself off to the world as how, despite transitioning, I'm still roughly almost the same person. It's just my outward appearance basically changed. And this person was so amazing. Like, we became friends, I met them in person. They're just all around great people, and I feel like we're like twins and stuff like that in a way. So big shout out to Skylar. He's really great. I have no words to describe like how much he meant to me when I was starting out and feeling all alone with no support of any kind. So thank you so much. You are the reason I even started this channel. So thank you. So much love. I have no words. Like, these are the people we are celebrating today. The second person is Blaque Ashley. This person, while relatively coming on the scene relatively early, when I first started out, Blaque Ashley didn't really exist yet, at least the public eye. So to see more trans person of color representation is pretty much important, and I hope more people are represented just like him, and not just for like their aesthetically pleasing body. But still, we're making strides, and like I'm starting to discover more trans people of color, because when I first started out on YouTube, it was only my channel, and the reason I made that channel was because there was no trans person of color, and to this day they're pretty few and far in between, as opposed to white trans people. So to see this, like more trans people coming into the limelight, is amazing, and Blaque Ashley is just one of those groundbreaking pioneers. So in a way, I'm very grateful for this person, and they give me hope that we will get represented in some way or another. Now the third one is Laverne Cox. Granted, I don't identify anywhere along the trans feminine spectrum, but the fact that they're making strides in the TV film industry. I remember seeing this private screening of a film whose name completely escapes me, but she was playing the role of like a prostitute, basically the best friend of a woman who was trying to find a relationship despite being a trans woman with someone, and tried to navigate who they were in this film. The film completely escapes me, but when I find out, I'll put in the link description, because it was such a groundbreaking film, and I was one of the lucky few to even see it. So it was really great. It really gave me hope, and there were times where I felt like I could be like a voice actor, but you know, that's just me overstretching my ambitions a bit. Now the fourth one is Chandler and Women. Now this person doesn't really identify as any gender. They identify as agender, but still I like to look at this person as like my little sibling, because at some point I did identify as a trans man, but after watching their videos for quite a while now, I felt like I don't really have to fit within one gender or the other within the gender binary. I could just like live comfortably outside of that, because I've discovered that gender is a very limiting thing, because a lot of people tend to associate traits and hobbies within said gender, or how you're perceived as, because most people look at me and be like, oh well, let's have this guy lift this because they look like they're strong enough to do it. Oh, let's have the guys do it because the women are so weak, or something like that. And to me, I find it all ridiculous, even though some of it does have like biological fact, where biologically men are stronger than women, but still, like, gender is a very limiting concept, and that's why I decided to identify more as non-binary, although a little more leaning toward the trans-masculine spectrum. So as a thanks to this lovely human, I discovered that it's okay to not have to choose one or the other right away, because for a while I thought that, like, me being assigned female at birth, I was uncomfortable, but then being perceived as 100% as a man made me feel uncomfortable as well. So it's better to be just where in the middle ground, hence neutral. And last but not least, the fifth person that has inspired me is Blaque. Now, I'm sure a lot of people don't really know Blaque as of yet, but she's pretty much getting up there. And while she doesn't really talk about trans issues as much as issues on racial equality, Blaque is just amazing. She's an amazing trans person of color, trans woman, and she talks about a lot of issues, especially about intersectionality. Sometimes she does touch upon trans issues and being non-binary erasure, and sometimes on like dating and like handling and navigating the world as a trans person. But they tend to put a more emphasis on racial inequality and basically white privilege and how systematic racism works and everything. So they're very knowledgeable about that, and I thought I would give them a shout out because when I first discovered them, it was really life-changing on like what they have taught me and how far I've come since then, since me being willfully ignorant of what I was doing towards other trans people of color, despite not being white or having white privilege. I definitely do have a lot more privilege than a black person, so I've been trying to check myself, and I'm literally starting to look after my black trans siblings a lot more, because white privilege is a real thing and reverse racism does not exist. Prejudice exists, but reverse racism doesn't exist because systematically white people hold the most power. But not to get into racial politics right now, but the point is, Blaque has taught me so much, and their content is so well thought out. I love their drawing skills and how they add that to their content and everything. So thank you so much, Kat, and everyone else. Like, you have influenced me this awesome year, and I hope we continue to grow together, and at some point we will meet each other in the near future. Now, of course, there's always been like more than 5 people that have inspired me, but if I were to name them all, I feel like this video would go on forever and never stop. So these 5 people have impacted me the most, and of course there's other people who have influenced me in some way. So I guess as a 6th person, all of you have been inspiring, whether or not you just will simply watch my videos or comment on my stuff or we interacted in some way. You guys are inspiring as well, and I hope you all have an awesome Trans Day of Visibility, and hopefully we will be making strides this year, and transphobia will eventually, in the not too distant future, I hope, will be come to a halt. Love you all so much. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. What are you waiting for? And also, I hope you all have an awesome week. You are beautiful and you are loved, alright? I will see you all real soon.